Clicks Group is a Cape Town-based health and beauty-focused retail and supply group.
That does it. We're going to look at the share chart in a minute. This company's done so well in recent times, just demonstrating how strong this trend is. This part of retail beats almost everything else.
Market cap 34.7 billion rand, price to earnings ratio 28.6, dividend yield of 2%. Let's look at the performance, and that is the kind of share price graph you want to see more often in stocks that you invest in.
Just going and going.
We don't unfortunately have it in the hot stocks portfolio.
No, sadly not.
Why not?
It never looks cheap, that's why.
It's one of those stocks that's never going to get cheap.
Probably
by
not.
all accounts.
Probably not, except if things calm down significantly from a political perspective. We've got structural reform, the economy's pumping. Maybe then it won't demand like a 29 forward PE. But when things are uncertain and people are feeling a bit iffy, they do like these defensive stocks because they're still making money and they're making a lot of it.
Have you called this one correctly, Chantal? Have you got clients invested in Clicks?
No, I do not, because
because it wasn't cheap enough for you to get into.
Because it's never been cheap enough. But the reality is that, I mean, at some point in time we have to come to grips with the fact that Clicks probably is never going to be cheap. And we're going to speak about Dis-Chem after this, and it's probably never going to be cheap either. But there's a reason why these stocks are trading at these multiples.
So Paul, given that introduction, perhaps we should buy into Clicks.
Well, look, they continue to trade very well. They've got the club card thing, which means that they're quite well connected with their clients. They can push all sorts of benefits. The whole wellness trend is pushing people into the stores to get their discovery,
there's
vitality
the loyalty
checkup.
with the discovery. You can choose either Clicks or Dis-Chem for your benefits.
Exactly. A lot of people who have also, you know, regular medication that they need, scripts that they need to fill and so on. And that's not even talking about all of the makeup and all of the sports nutritionals and all of the shampoos.
Music still falls into this fold.
It does, but it's not a huge contributor. And they've found a good way of getting into sort of gaming and related areas, and they've shrunk the store footprint of those over time. So it's not really a net concern at all.
It's not big enough within the overall group. Any concerns on Clicks, Chantal, other than the fact that it's expensive and potentially never going to get cheap?
So I think Clicks and Dis-Chem really should be spoken about together, because it's an either-or story. So one of the things in Clicks that we find a little bit concerning is the fact that it hasn't really grown private brand. Growing your private brand is really good for a company like this, because the margins are a lot better. So there's that. And then the other thing is that I don't think that they've taken as big a step in terms of the health and wellness nutritional type space, where in Dis-Chem it's everywhere, and that's really where I think the future lies for the front of house.
So Clicks as a play right now, hot or not?
I'm going to go hot on this. I just think the category is very strong, but I think Chantal is right. I often wondered whether with Dis-Chem being on the ascendancy, Clicks would do worse, but it hasn't. So I'm assuming the business and the opportunity is big enough to keep going.
Yeah, there's definitely more opportunity for these guys. As Paul said, we like the category. And then remember, there are so many Clickses in so many little towns that still don't have pharmacies. So still
the potential to roll out pharmacies in store is enormous, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.